Hello, I'm Robert Bohr. You are watching a channel about proper nutrition and health. In this video, I will talk about balanced eating and the basic principles you need to follow to maintain it. Watch the video until the end, give it a thumbs up, and leave comments if you found it helpful. Let's get started. What a person eats affects their appearance, energy levels, and well-being. Today, I will tell you about balanced eating and the basic principles of healthy nutrition. There are basic rules for eating that will not only help you return to your ideal weight, but also improve your health. First and foremost, the golden rule is to start the day with 1 or 2 glasses of warm water. The key here is warm water, with a temperature of about 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. It is best not to have the water too hot, as it may cause discomfort to your mucous membranes. Now, let's talk about the beneficial properties of consuming warm water. Drinking a glass of warm water on an empty stomach triggers the digestion process and activates intestinal peristalsis, preparing our body for the next meal. Water is also a major component of bile, and bile acts as the main antiseptic in our body. If you experience constipation, it means that there is a disruption in the release of bile, and drinking warm water, not only in the morning on an empty stomach, but also throughout the day, will help you address this issue. Consuming warm water on an empty stomach, about 200 to 400 milliliters daily, significantly accelerates metabolism by raising body temperature. Within 40 minutes after a meal, your metabolism will be about 30% higher on average, which, of course, aids in fat reduction. Warm water relaxes muscles, relieves spasmodic and menstrual pain, and alleviates premenstrual syndrome symptoms. A daily glass of warm water in the morning on an empty stomach will help you get rid of skin problems, acne, and dryness. This is again related to the function of our bile and lymphatic system. Cleansing and strengthening blood circulation, as well as detoxifying and reducing visceral fat, will have a beneficial effect on your nervous system, thanks to that warm glass of water in the morning. Drinking warm water an hour before bedtime will also help calm you down and normalize your sleep. Daily consumption of 1, or even better 2 glasses of warm water on an empty stomach will show considerable improvements in your well-being within 3 weeks. You will feel more comfortable in your gastrointestinal tract, it will be easier to wake up in the morning, and you will see how quickly your skin starts to clear up. Most importantly, it is the simplest and most effective way to improve your health. The second rule that follows from the first is to consume enough water throughout the day. I remind you that the recommended daily fluid intake should be at least 30 milliliters of pure water per 1 kilogram of your weight. If you don't meet your daily requirement, sooner or later, it will lead to dehydration, impaired metabolic processes, slowed metabolism, obesity, and thrombosis. The third rule, which is very necessary but unfortunately, most people don't follow, is to chew food thoroughly and avoid using gadgets during meals. Observations were conducted in various research centers to understand why thorough chewing of food is necessary. Many people mistakenly believe that the digestion process begins in the stomach, but that's not entirely true. The digestion process actually starts when we think about food, and it continues in the oral cavity during meals. Our salivary glands already contain a large amount of enzymes that begin the digestion process. They also have an antibacterial effect, so skipping this process is absolutely unnecessary. Swallowing food in chunks is entirely wrong. The more thoroughly you chew your food, the less work your stomach and intestines will have to do. Teeth are an essential part of thorough living. We must always take care to avoid any inflammation in the oral cavity, and visit the dentist every 6 months. The time spent thoroughly chewing your food makes the temperature of the food equal to that of your body, so your mucous membranes in the esophagus and stomach will be much more comfortable to receive the food in this way. In most cases, any discomfort in the gastrointestinal tract can be eliminated simply by starting to chew your food thoroughly. How many times should you chew for sufficient chewing? It is recommended to do it 30 to 40 times, so that your food turns into a mushy mixture. This way, you will have a much stronger feeling of satiety, and you will enjoy the taste of the foods better. Did you know that buckwheat, when chewed for a long time, actually tastes sweet? The next very simple and easy rule, nevertheless, extremely important, is not to drink beverages such as tea, coffee, juices, or carbonated drinks while eating. Also, avoid drinking more than 100 milliliters of water during meals. Not following this rule can lead to the following consequences: incomplete digestion of food in the gastrointestinal tract, resulting in a slowdown in nutrient absorption in the stomach and increased gas formation. It is recommended to drink water 30 minutes before meals and 1 to 1.5 hours after meals. The same applies to various beverages. If you drink tea or coffee while eating, you will hinder the absorption of vitamins and minerals by the gastrointestinal tract due to the presence of tannins in these beverages. The next important and easy rule is to try to eat at the same time each day. The usual pattern for a busy person is to not eat all day, snack on small bites, and then have the largest meal during dinner. This often leads to discomfort and various unpleasant sensations. When you eat at approximately the same time each day, your portions are distributed evenly throughout the day, and you do not accumulate a feeling of hunger, thus avoiding overeating during dinner. Properly distributing your meals throughout the day will prevent discomfort in the gastrointestinal tract. When the body gets used to eating at the same time, it reflexively produces stomach acid, which significantly eases the digestion process. The following necessary rule is to eliminate all refined carbohydrates from your diet. These include wheat flour, white rice, all sugars, pasta, and baked goods made from refined grains. Refined carbohydrates lack beneficial fiber, which is necessary for our body, and they consist of fast sugars that promote the growth of conditionally pathogenic microorganisms. We need to remove them from our diet. And the final rules in today's video are to limit salt consumption. Many have heard that salt, along with sugar, is called white death. But despite warnings from the World Health Organization, most people still heavily salt their food. Instead of the recommended 5 grams of salt per day on average, we consume from 10 to 15 grams. It is crucial to keep track of how much salt you use at home. This amount should not exceed 2/3 of a teaspoon per day. You should also pay attention to the products you buy in the store. Up to 70% of the total amount of salt we consume during the day comes from supermarket products. These include salty sausages, all processed foods, and ready-made meals. So, when we add more salt at home, it becomes clear that this amount will exceed the recommended limit anyway. According to studies, the level of visceral fat increases proportionally to the increase in salt consumption. Each additional gram of salt increases the likelihood of obesity by 28% in children and 26% in adults. Additionally, table salt enhances the excretion of calcium in the urine, leading to reduced tissue mineral density and potentially causing osteoporosis in the future. There are several simple rules to control the level of salt consumed. First, do not use more than 2/3 of a teaspoon of salt at home. Second, exclude processed foods from your diet as much as possible. Third, never salt food while cooking, always salt ready-made dishes. During cooking, food tends to become oversalted. Believe me, this is not everything, but it is the simplest and most effective rule that will already help improve your well-being. Subscribe to our channel to learn even more life hacks for health improvement and proper nutrition.